right, everybody, welcome back. Hope you got some big old cups of coffee so that way we can talk about some of these trending articles in the crypto news space today. As always, my name is John, and thanks to everyone who has subscribed and continues to watch or listen to these little things that I'm putting out. I really do appreciate it. Brightens up my day, gives me something to look forward to when I wake up in the morning. I hope you all enjoy it as well, and as always, all the links to all the articles discussed can be found in the description, so that way you can do your own research. Don't just trust what I got to say. Look for yourselves. You might find something you didn't expect. So, alright, let's hop on in. Talk about IOTA. They just dropped their Chrysalis upgrade, and it's supposedly going to be 50 times faster than their current network speeds. So, they completed this upgrade. It enables the network to handle up to about 1,000 transactions per second. The network prior to this topped out at about 20 transactions per second. So not too hot to pretty darn good. Hence that 50 times increase. This upgrade is designed to be an intermediate stage before the removal of the coordinator from the IOTA network. The coordinator is a centralized server managed by IOTA developers that creates checkpoints in its transaction history. So obviously removing this is a bit of a process and replacing it with something probably a bit more decentralized, but decentralization is the goal. So under Chrysalis, the confirmation time of transactions for token transfers on the IOTA mainnet has been reduced to about 4 seconds in some cases, which is about 8 times faster than before, and it can handle 50 times more things. So it's a pretty darn good upgrade. So for those who don't know, IOTA is in the middle of a huge upgrade phase. Today's network upgrade, which is Chrysalis Phase 1, is the second to last step towards the coordicide. Let's see, that's their pun. Getting rid of the coordinator, they're killing it, so it's coordicide. Let's see what they did there. Later in 2020, they're going to be dropping Phase 2, which is going to include a support of a new signing scheme, and with it reusable addresses, UTXO, a new node API, a new client library API, and a brand new wallet for both desktop and mobile, and more. So yeah, no, they're working their way through the stages of their upgrade. The final stage in the testnet for IOTA 2.0, which is going to be called Honey, it will incorporate all final coordicide modules representing the first version of IOTA 2.0, or a fully decentralized IOTA mainnet. This finished upgrade is expected in early 2021, so it is fast approaching, not gonna lie. Good for them. IOTA is definitely one to watch out for. They've had a rough year, but they continue to put out these upgrades, and a 50x increase in the amount of transactions you can handle is no small feat. A simple 10x from here will get them to 10,000, which I think is enterprise level, like Visa, MasterCard level, that we need to really take crypto to the next step. So if they can do it, well, then it's just proven it can be done, and it will only spread to other projects. So good on IOTA. But hey, that's all I got to say about them for now. Let's hop on over, touch on Vechain a little bit. God, it just keeps hitting up. So good old Travala.com, they have it, the AVA token, AVA. They've also partnered up with, oh gosh, we talked about it on this channel. Oh boy, I'm blanking, but a very major website for booking. Not kayaking. Oh god, what was it? No, never mind. But Travala partnered up with a major travel booking website to be able to pay for things using crypto through that website. It's been doing really well, and they've just announced that they're going to be incorporating the VET token as a payment option for travelers on their crypto-friendly booking platform. So hey, not only can you pay with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other ones, now you can pay with VET. Good for Vechain. That's a nice little adoption. Nothing too crazy, but pretty good. So Juan Otero, CEO of Travala.com, believes that through the partnership, the company will continue to increase cryptocurrency adoption across the travel sector. The Vechain Foundation echoed these sentiments and likewise noted an increasing surge in consumer appetite for modern payment alternatives and scalable blockchain solutions. Well, I don't know about all that. Personally, if I got crypto in my wallet right now. I'm not spending it on a vacation just yet. The market's a little bit too down right now for that type of thing. I hope y'all are accumulating in this dip. If you're doing it smart, in my opinion, you should be putting a little bit in every time you get paid. $50 there, $100 there. If that 10x, that's 500. That's 1,000. You do that over the course of a year or two, and that's some pretty serious change that you'll get once we finally blast off like a rocket ship to the moon, when that happens, whenever that is. But good for Vechain. Good for Travala, actually. It's probably better news for them. They're probably going to keep integrating coins like this. The more they can do it, the more likely people will spend their crypto to go on vacation, and the more likely they'll grow. Vechain has been knocking it out of the park, so they're definitely going to be around for a while. So you can see why Travala is opening up to them as well. Cool. All right, well, hey, let's hop on over to old Tron. Oh, yeah, they launched JustSwap today. It's a decentralized exchange. It was announced at the end of July. It was part of Tron's strategy to expand into its DeFi sector. Dropped yesterday. To celebrate the launch, Justin Sun, the CEO of Tron, quite controversial figure he is, held a live stream that attracted 763,000 viewers on the Chinese Periscope variant Yizbo. Yizbo? Whatever. Sun has promoted JustSwap as a, quote, accessible to all and an alternative to Uniswap, an Ethereum-based decentralized exchange. JustSwap is Tron's first decentralized exchange protocol that allows users to trade the TRC20 tokens instantly without commissions on the exchange. Well, not too bad, just like Uniswap. The introduction of the decentralized exchange protocol is in line with Tron's strategy to compete directly with Ethereum. They're aiming for the big guy in the sector because Ethereum's DeFi pairing has grown inexorably and exceeded all expectations. Some people are saying there's almost 6.4 billion locked up in various Ethereum DeFi protocols. Though, as we've talked about, there is some dispute over that figure. It might be half that, just based on the amount of over-leveraging that occurs in some DeFi sectors. But either way, there's a lot of money in it. I can see why Tron's wanting to set their sights and see if they can't capture some of that market. According to data from JustSwap's official Twitter account, the protocol's total liquidity reached 3.5 million in just under 24 hours. In addition, JustSwap's trading volume reached 10 million in the first 19 hours. So there's some movement going on, according to them. But Tron, as always, is rife with criticism. So Primitive Crypto, one of the founding partners, Devoy Wan, he advised caution to potential investors. He referred to Justin Sun as a fraudster. Plagiarist, maybe not a fraudster, but he questioned the decentralized nature of the DeFi sector on Tron. He also warned the crypto community about possible scams using the JustSwap protocol. He claimed that fake tokens were listed that could pose an investment risk. Many of these fake investments try to imitate popular tokens on Ethereum's DeFi, such as YAM, Link, and Wi-Fi. Actually looking at a picture that Juan shared of what I'm assuming is the JustSwap protocol, and there is a YAM, there is a Fi, and there is a Link token listed. So I would definitely, if you guys are going to check it out, I'd be very cautious about this, just like you got to be cautious with Uniswap. Scams abound, and especially since those aren't available on the Tron network, because they're got to be Tron tokens. It's something to keep an eye on. Definitely don't just jump in without really looking at something before you buy it. And even then, get someone else to take a look at it for you as well. Got to keep an eye on these guys. They are sneaky. But hey, let's hop on over. So Charles Hoskinson, he keeps announcing things. Oh, God, Cardano. I feel like a broken record. I just keep talking about how awesome it's doing and this, that, and the other thing. But in a new video, he informed IOHK that they're going to be introducing the functions of the one-to-many, quote-unquote, delegation and delegation portfolios. So he's presented both ideas previously, and And he explained that the one-to-many delegation will allow ADA holders to delegate ADA to several stake pools representing different ideas or initiatives with just one wallet, which I think is pretty nice. You can put, 50% into this and 40% into that. And here's a charitable one, so I'll put 10% into that so I can feel good about myself. And he also wants to create portfolios, which I think would be cool. So they could be organized by different themes. So it would only contain charity stake pools or only smaller stake pools. Or they could, be geographically oriented, so they contain only African or Japanese or American or New Zealand stake pools. Ultimately, smaller stake pools will probably benefit from this the most, and it'll help decentralization since it's not an all or nothing scenario. You're not just going to go with the biggest one. You can go with a portfolio and know that you're helping out the little guy while still maintaining a strong relationship with a larger, stake pool that gives you a bit more stability in your mind. Also, IOHK is currently working on 2 hardware-based features that they want to implement. One will be a multi-sig pledge, which will allow smaller stake pools to work together. And they're also going to introduce what they're calling KES management for Trezor and Ledger wallets. It should simplify how they administer things completely, and both functions significantly increase the security of stake pool operators by not exposing the private keys to the internet under any circumstances. So basically, cold wallet staking. I like it. It allows them to do that while keeping things safely off the internet. Cardano is really... They're dropping so much information right now that I feel like it's just getting lost because they just keep dropping more and more and more and more and more. But they're doing good. They're implementing a lot of features. Pretty interested to see how this coin continues to develop and grow as the year goes on. Woo! Okay. Hey, let's hop on over, talk a little bit about Jack Daniels. So, did they get ransomed? Did they fend it off? So, the ransomware gang REvil or REvil or REvil, however they want to pronounce it. They're also known as Sodinokli. I probably butchered that, sorry, but meh. Claims to have mounted a successful attack against the U.S. wine and spirits giant Brown and Foreman Corp., the makers of good old Jack Daniels. Some good old American whiskey. Got some sitting just above me in the liquor cabinet right there. Might have to do a shot for old times. So, according to cybersecurity service provider AppGate, the famous alcoholic beverages manufacturer did fall victim to an attack, but refused to pay the ransom that was demanded by REvil. In response to this, the hackers put data stolen in the attack up for sale for around $1.5 million on the quote-unquote Wall of Shame section in their Darknet official blog. However, Brown Foreman Corp. Told Info Security Magazine in a statement that they had successfully prevented the cyber criminals from encrypting their files. So it sounds like they kept them from bricking their network, but they did make off with some sensitive data. At least that's what I'm getting from this. Speaking with Cointelegraph, Felipe Duarte, security researcher at AppGate and the author of the study, said there's no way to confirm if the data allegedly stolen by REvil really exists or if it's just a threat. The only proof that the gang has revealed are screenshots published on their Darknet site of the alleged stolen data. So, Duarte told Cointelegraph that REvil and other hacker groups have seen significant financial gain from their model of teasing out some of the stolen data and selling the quote-unquote crown jewels to the highest bidder. He adds that if companies continue to pay these ransoms, these groups will be able to fund and expand their operations to additional targets exponentially faster. So it's kind of one of those things that as they get money, they can do more scams and build their infrastructure to get more money. And eventually they get pretty darn large. Duarte said that most ransoms are actually migrating away from Bitcoin as more and more people are able to track it easier and easier. It's never been particularly hard to track, it's just you had to know what you're doing, and the amount of people who actually know what they're doing is starting to get up there. But they've moved over to other cryptos like Monero. It's still popularly known, but it is a privacy coin, so it's harder to track, or it makes them feel like it's harder to track. I'd say it probably is. Monero's gotten some pretty good reviews from people that I've read. But pretty interesting that Jack Daniels was able to keep them from actually completely taking over, but they lost some stuff. It either shows that REvil did something wrong or Jack Daniels is doing something right in the cybersecurity game. I hope it's a little bit of both. So, interesting story, but we'll leave that there. So, ever the most controversial person, old John McAfee, he just left his own privacy asset project. So, this guy said, some might say he's giving up the ghost. I'm more of a fan of he's ghosting them, but awful puns aside, technology pioneer and cryptocurrency advocate John McAfee just announced his departure from his own privacy asset project, Ghost. I'm abandoning the Ghost project. Management is incapable of making a success of the project. It will, without a doubt, fail. I tried to explain the fundamental principles of management, but they fell on deaf ears. My apologies to those I led astray. Sorry. Wow. Just no offense. I know text does not convey the way it was said in micro expressions. That sounds arrogant as all hell to me, just personally. He is an interesting dude. He's bashed Bitcoin in recent months for its lack of privacy, so he set out to make his own proof of stake, privacy-focused asset. I tweeted about it April 11th of this past year, though it ended up showing that in May the project had plagiarized content from Pivex, another privacy-focused crypto. I guess there's no original ideas, just cite your sources, people. Josh is an idiot, McAfee said in the comments under his August 19th tweet, likely referring to one of the project's brass. The oft-controversial tech mogul also affirmed that he plans to remove his only 2-month-old ghost tattoo following the announcement. So yeah, he got a tattoo 2 months ago, and he's removing it. So a representative from the Ghost team on Telegram had this to say. Ghost is an open-source decentralized project. John can help market Ghost to his network, or doesn't have to, but that does not affect the Ghost blockchain whatsoever. John is in no way involved with any of the day-to-day operations, nor has he ever been involved with any of the tech or building Ghost. Well, since Ghost apparently was plagiarizing from Pivex, that actually increases my opinion of John McAfee in this, even though it seems like they were using him as a figurehead, and he wanted to be more than a figurehead, and they were like, no, you're not. And so he said, well, screw you guys, I'm going home. That's what it sounds like to me, at least based off this one short article here. But either way, it's pretty interesting to see that old John McAfee started this up or announced it in April. He's done with it by September. Gotta love the crypto space. Always something. All right. And to round things out today, we're going to talk about the Aragon platform. So it's going to be launching its Phoenix upgrade in the next few weeks, which will transfer control of the project to its ANT or ant holders. These ant holders will adjudicate the Aragon court and help guide the development of the DAO minting platform. So it is a platform for launching and managing autonomous organizations, DAOs. The final phase of the Aragon network launch, transferring government's control of the Aragon court, decentralized dispute resolution system into the hands of those who own Aragon Ants protocol tokens. So, Aragon DAOs power household names within the DeFi community, including lending protocol Aave and stablecoin swap platform Curve. Collectively, the network of projects that the DAO program supports manages over 350 million in assets, according to Aragon. So, a little biased, but you know. The Phoenix upgrade is undergoing final audits and is slated for release in the next 8 weeks, so it's coming up soon. Transition to Phoenix will give Ant holders control over the Aragon network and their constitution via the Aragon court. It's a system that uses financial incentives to motivate jurors to accurately decide between opposing arguments. So, Ant holders will also gain the power to amend the governance framework of the Aragon DAO itself and control the community's funding pool. So they're definitely doing some things. Aragon's pretty interesting. It's not something I'd heard very much about, but it's cool to see that they help support Aave, they help support Curve, they probably help support a few other projects that aren't listed in here. And it's really cool that they're going to be giving over power to the community, so we can see how community governance in a quasi-democracy works. So the next phase of Aragon DAO governance will be an important milestone in empowering the whole Aragon community to rally around a common mission. I agree with that. It launched in November of 2016 and raised $25 million in a 2017 ICO. The good old ICO. They then launched the Aragon Network DAO in November of 2019, and they've been priming everything for this Phoenix upgrade ever since while helping support other cryptos. So pretty good for Aragon, pretty good for the Aragon community. It's not a crypto I've paid very much attention to, but I think I should probably start given how they have their hands in some interesting pies. But hey, that does it for the trending articles I'm talking about today in the crypto news space. Thanks for stopping by and checking me out. Before I go, let's pop over to CoinMarketCap. It has been a brutal couple of days. Top 10 coins, not a single one other than Chainlink is in the positives right now, and Chainlink is pretty flat. Biggest loser of the top 10 looks to be Cardano, sitting at 4.76% down right now. Eesh. In the top 20, everything is also down as well. Only one thing is green, and it's a stable coin. Biggest loser there looks to be Stellar, down almost 5%. In fact, you got to go pretty far down, all the way to number 30 before you see synthetics in the positive. Omnivise Go is up 15%. I'm assuming I will be talking about why very soon for them. Just got to wait for the news to figure out what's going on and report it. You know, that stuff. So, if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you ever so much, or this point in the podcast, depending on where you're finding me. Subscribe, please. I think you made it this far. I mean, why not? What's the worst that could happen? You get to hear these sultry tones more often. Yeah, I do appreciate all those who've listened and all those who've subscribed and everyone, you know, who'll respond and talk down in the comments. I do enjoy interacting with you all. I've switched over to a new job because life is crazy in coronavirus world. So I might not be responding to comments as quickly as I was able to prior, so I do apologize to that. If you're finding me on YouTube, if you're listening to me on the podcast, feel free to continue just as you were. So, that being said, I will bid you all adieu for the night. Stay safe, and have a great one, and don't burn yourself with all that coffee you're drinking.